Hey guys, just a couple of really quick things here at the end of the semester. Hopefully you've all had a chance to review your feedback on the rough draft. If not, please go back into the assignment folder and look for a couple of attachments. One should be an audio file, it's an MP4, and one should be your file but uploaded. Alright, so what I mean by your file is got the same file name as what you uploaded to the assignment folder, but it will say annotated, and that's going to have, when you open it, it's going to have my comments in red pen. And then my voice comments usually complement or expand on what I've written. And sometimes what I've written doesn't make much sense unless you listen to that audio as well. So make sure that you do that. I wanted to show you really quickly what to look for in your works cited list. So this is a works cited list from another class, and there are two things wrong with this that I'm going to show you how to fix. And one is that the indentations and spacing is wrong, and the second is that the items are not in alphabetical order by the first word of the entry. So what we want is hanging indentation for everything, which means that the first line is flush with the left margin and the second and subsequent lines are indented 1/2 inch. What I always do is select what I want to provide a hanging indentation for, and then I grab the bottom triangle from this thing that looks like an hourglass on a pedestal, and I pull it over 1/2 inch, and then it does the indentation for me. But another thing you can do is select all the material that you want to apply that formatting to, and then you can go right click, paragraph, and then under indentation there's a drop down box that says a couple of things, and you can do hanging, and it will make that change for you. Alright, I'm going to quickly select the rest of this works cited list and apply that formatting, and then we're going to go in and alphabetize it. I'm just going to do paragraph, hanging, but that's what it is the second and subsequent lines are indented 1/2 inch. Alright, so the first word of this entry, oh, and also for some reason the program is reading this as a hard return. Right after, between Honolulu and star, it's reading a hard return. But once we make it just a space instead of a return, it gives us the proper indentation. Okay, so the first word of this entry is Ritter, and the first word of this entry is altar. So obviously these need to be in a different order. So let's flip those real quick. And then just start going backwards and making the changes that we need to make. They need to be alphabetized by those first words. So Mr. D'Souza comes after Ms. Alter, and so forth. So I'm just going to pull the whole thing down here. Alright, that's the idea. Alright, what about something that starts with the? Alright, so just like when you alphabetize anything, you don't count the words a, an, or the. Those are articles. We ignore them. So we would start with O.J. Simpson. Okay, what if I have two articles that start with the same word or words? Can happen. Alright, something comes before nothing. So this article that is called The O.J. Simpson Case is going to come after the article that's just called O.J. Simpson. Alright, when I cite these, oh, and I just realized that these are going to be alphabetized as though they start with O, so we're going to move those down. Alright, then when I cite those sources in my essay. Alright, so I've listed them on my works cited, which means that I have cited them somewhere. When I cite them in my essay, I'm going to refer to them by the first word or words of the entry. So when I cite this source, even though it's from Time, I'm not going to cite Time, I'm going to cite Alter. Alright? And I'm not going to cite famous trials. I'm going to use O.J. Simpson in quotation marks to indicate that that is the title. I'm quoting the title. I'm citing the title, not the author. If it said Simpson, just Simpson, without quotation marks, that would indicate that someone named Simpson was the author. Quotation marks lets us know that's the title. And that's what the reader's going to look for in your list of works cited. It would be understood in that case that there was an anonymous or corporate author. So you don't need to worry about providing some additional material, like indicating that this is from something called Famous Trials. That's not appropriate, so don't do that. All right, so in this case, if it's by PBS, I really feel like we're missing some information from that entry, so let's not refer to that. The rest of these are pretty easy, I would say. So in this case, in this instance, if I was citing this source, I would put in quotation marks the O.J. Simpson case, just to distinguish it from O.J. Simpson. And that's what we always do. If we have two sort of similar titles or entries, we give enough information in parentheses in the article that the reader can distinguish among our sources in our works cited list, because it's the idea. It's to provide a breadcrumb trail so your readers can track down your sources of information if they wish to. All right, so that's the idea there. And guys, there's a lot of stuff that you are given to read and refer to online that you need to do. You can also watch the video that I posted called How to Cite Sources, but it is your responsibility to know how to do that. That's one of the most important things I needed to cover. You guys just have your essay due on Friday, and then you have one more discussion post, and I think it's due on Monday. I'm just going to check that real quick to make sure I'm correct. Meanwhile, if you guys are looking at your grades and there's something that seems to be missing, please send me an email and let me know. Chances are I'd find it anyway, but because I go over every single person's grades for everything that's been done, and almost everything has shows me if you've already completed that assignment, and I just haven't given you credit for it. But do email me if you're concerned about any particular grade that I haven't or assignment that I haven't given you credit for. Also, if we have a course evaluation in this course available and you've not completed it yet, please do. But I think that we're all good on that. All right, so on Monday, you have your final reflection due, and that's just a chance for you to do just what it sounds like, your final reflection. I should have the grades for your final essay by Wednesday of next week, so the 16th, and then all of your final grades will be posted. I believe that they're due, that I have to enter them on the 17th, so things will be final or nearly final by that point. Of course, if there's a big problem, we can address it. If there was some huge mistake, like I entered the wrong grade, we can fix that. All right. As always, send me an email if you have questions, and I look forward to reading your work.